Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. I got a pretty good video, I think, for us today. I won't say it's based solely off a comment, but you know, it's been kind of feeling a little You know, everybody's wanting to see silver go up, or they're wanting to see it come down so they can put in their buys, and we're just not seeing either one of them things happen. What we're seeing is just a settling almost of silver. It's just sitting right in that area. And I've done videos explaining why I think it's going to dip a little lower, and then why I think we're going to have a reversal in the new month. However, I got a comment earlier and it had said something along the lines of, I would not expect to see anything major out of silver. Maybe we'll see $35 silver by the end of the year, and that is about the absolute best. But I wanted to paint another picture for you guys, and this is a what if, really. It's a what if this happens. I want you to think about how this could be the ultimate play against the US dollar and a huge move for gold and silver. And you think after you hear this out, you think if this couldn't happen, because I think this very well could happen. If you guys enjoyed the video, please take a quick minute, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel more than you know. If you're not subscribed, you can do the ultimate thing by taking a quick minute and hitting that subscribe button. I cannot thank you enough if you do. And on top of that, leave me a comment. Just let me know your thoughts. Like, nah, that ain't never going to happen. Or you never know, that could actually happen. And like I said, this is a little hypothetical. I don't want to scare anybody with what I'm going to tell you, but I want you to think about it. Okay, so jumping in. Everybody knows the petrodollar just came to an end. What that means is, in short, I don't want to beat it up because we've talked about this before, but in short, Saudi Arabia is no longer using dollars solely as the means of trade for oil. They're now accepting whatever. So if you have Chinese yuan, Russian rubles, or US dollars, it doesn't matter. We'll take them. And so therefore, it kind of hurt the dollar a little bit, but we're not seeing the dollar come down. Why? People ask, because it takes time. However, oh, it's really windy outside. I can hear it blowing through the window. However, fast forward now. So now it's not the dollar, it's any currency. Come October, we have a huge BRICS meeting coming up, where the major BRICS countries, which is now a lot more than 5. Originally, it was just Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But then they added in all of the OPEC countries. So your major oil-producing countries are now involved in that. Now, what would happen if all of a sudden they announced, nope, we're not going to take all currencies, we're only going to take the BRICS currency. Why? Because Saudi Arabia would want to see that. A lot of people think that could happen. A lot of people think that couldn't happen. But, you know, these same people that say that would never happen were the ones that said the U.S. will always be the petrodollar. We're always going to be top dog. We're always going to be this. They want to keep the charade going. You know, how do I say this? Let me think for a second. If you're heavily invested in something, well, you want to keep that something going. You want to keep the charade, keep the game going. A great example is if anybody plays Monopoly. You ever sat down, you played Monopoly with 5 or 6 other people, and all of a sudden you're winning. You're in. Oh, I should say that a little different. Someone's going to say it's not all of a sudden, it's all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you are winning. Although when I get talking really quick, I will say all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, you are winning. You're the top dog in the game. You've got the majority of the property. You've got a lot of cash. Things are going good for you. And all of a sudden, somebody says, let's restart and just start over. Well, if you're winning, you're not going to want to start over. Of course not. You're winning. And then at once, someone else says, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just start over from the beginning. And you can still argue it out. It's not everybody. But eventually, when everybody decides they want to start over the game, then what? You don't have a say-so anymore. Your say is 5-1. You're done. We're going to restart the game over. If you don't like it, go play by yourself in the corner. We'll just silence you out. And that's kind of where I think the U.S. is going right now. We're kind of getting put in the corner. And anybody that doesn't see that doesn't have to look really far. Look what just happened with Taiwan. How many people have been following this? So China wants Taiwan. A lot of people know they want to invade Taiwan. A lot of people think, oh, that invasion is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because the U.S. will not tolerate that. The U.S. will go over there and defend them. But look what they just did. Taiwan just put an application in to join the BRICS. And their reasoning was, we think maybe it would stop tensions between us and China if we join them. It would increase trade amongst each other. It would make it easier. But what does that do? That basically ices out the U.S. and the dollar a little bit more. Here we are wanting to go over and defend them, and that's what they want to do. You know, here's the thing. We're getting iced out. A lot of people don't even understand that. But little by little, countries are less and less using the dollar. Now, it doesn't seem like much right now. A lot of people don't even understand. They're like, no, that's a myth. The U.S. is the number one currency. Okay, maybe they were for a while. They're not anymore. And all it's going to take is a big united currency to really escalate. Now, where would that come from? Because a lot of people are saying, no one's going to trust China. They rig the deck all the time. They rig the game. No one really is going to trust Russia because no one likes them right now because of what they just did. And no one's going to really want India right now for them to be the main currency. Saudi Arabia is not going to launch their own currency. But think about it for a minute. What if they all had a say-so in it? They're all playing a part. Then, all of a sudden, it's just the way I say it. All of a sudden, you're going to have all these countries decide we're going to use this one central currency. They're already building an exact replica of the SWIFT system. They've got the bank, they've got the establishment, they've got the major players that have all put money in, sold bonds that tie to their system. And little by little, these countries no longer have to use the SWIFT system. Now, a lot of people don't understand. Well, think about that for a minute. I mean, why are they not using the SWIFT system? Because the dollar has become a weapon. If you can put huge tariffs against somebody, then that becomes a weapon. They're threatened by it now. They've been using ours. We've had the ultimate privilege to have be able to print money out of thin air and basically have them take it and accept it. And now look what's going on. As more and more countries move away from the US dollar, it's going to become worthless. And eventually we're going to be sitting in the corner, not basically doing much trade with other people because they're not going to want the dollar. Now, okay, so let's look at another thing though. What will happen to the US when they want to buy oil from Saudi Arabia now? I mean, we buy oil from other countries. A lot of people think, oh, we can make our own oil. We can, but we don't. I don't know why, but that's because we want to go green, but that's for a whole nother video. So what? We buy our oil from another country. Think about that now. What happens if they all of a sudden say you can only use BRICS currency? All at once, the U.S. now would have to buy BRICS currency to get oil. And it's nerve-wracking because I'm here in the U.S. We've enjoyed the privilege of the dollar for a long time. But what happens now when the dollar becomes essentially worthless and they don't want to use it at all? Then something else is going to come up. And now it's going to be either central bank digital currencies or gold and silver, or possibly cryptocurrencies. But I would be willing to bet once an announcement comes out at the BRICS meeting in October that you now have to buy oil in BRICS currency, you will see gold and silver skyrocket. And the whole thought of silver not being able to go over $35 by the end of the year, I think could drastically change. I think gold and silver will skyrocket in value, especially for countries that are already heavily invested in the dollar, like the United States. I mean, the dollar is, we are the dollar essentially. What will it change? Well, I mean, we'll have a lot of dollars here. They'll filter into the U.S. Inflation will start ramping up, and there'll be no stopping it. At that point, the U.S. will have to roll out one of two plans: central bank digital currencies or hyperinflation. And people will not be happy with hyperinflation. As that happens, they'll have to print more money. Why? Because they're not going to be taking in the amount of money that we take in now. I know somebody asked me today, well, wait a minute, why would we print more money? If we want to get rid of inflation, you got to have less money. Yep. But how do you please the people from going crazy when they find out they don't have your Social Security payment? They don't have your military retirement. They don't have nothing. They still need to pay all these social programs that we've been funding. We've been sending money to every country. You think these countries are going to send the United States free money to help us out when we're in trouble? No. We'll be left alone in the corner. We'll have to cut down on patrolling the oceans. We'll probably cut down on patrolling the Middle East. A lot of people don't know what our ships do. We've got all these warships all around the world. What do? They basically make sure that trade can flow through the Straits of Hormuz, the Cape of Africa, all around the world. They make sure that stuff's kind of secure. They're the security. I mean, I've been saying for years that, we are involved in too much other stuff in other countries. But really now I'm looking at it in terms of what's going to happen to myself, what's going to happen to my family when this starts breaking down. And that's where gold and silver, I think, come into play really good. Because as that happens, you're going to see gold and silver go to new levels. I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously, if they don't announce that this year, then gold and silver may not go to some obscene levels. But that is a scenario that could play out. As of right now, my plan is still the same that it's been. I'm looking for a little bit more of a dip between now and the end of the month. I'd like to see $28 and change and catch it. It's hit there a couple times already. However, I'm not online to catch it when that happens, so I can't put in a big order. Now, once that happens, I plan on putting my order in. I really expect, like I've said in other videos, after the first of the month, it's a new financial quarter. I expect to see a big run up on gold and silver. Will it be new all-time? Will it be a new recent high in silver and a new all-time high in gold? I don't know if it will go that high, but I easily see it going back possibly to $32. A lot of people will disagree with that. They think that, as the economy starts tanking, that there will be a huge dip in precious metals, and $25 silver is going to be right back on the table, maybe even $22 silver. I don't know. I don't see that happening personally. This is not going to be like the whole beginning of the cough when silver went down to $11. Right now, there's a big move against the dollar, and the more that happens, the more chances there is of gold and silver going up. And that's not even taking into account all the different threats around the world. As there's more uncertainty, people want to go to gold and silver during uncertain times. Specifically gold, but silver is the poor man's gold. A lot of people will want to stack silver. I'm starting to talk to people that are all of a sudden, I talk to people all the time, but all of a sudden they're wanting to start buying again, silver. Why? Because it has dipped back down. They're just looking for the right deals. It's still pricey out there. But is it really pricey when you think about it? It might seem like it's pricey because we haven't seen it that high in a while. However, it's not pricey when you compare it to a currency that's becoming worthless every day. worth less and less until it becomes worthless. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. And if you enjoyed the video and you didn't hit that thumbs up, take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Could this happen? Or is that just, no, that's an outlandish nightmare that will never happen. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.